Morning. We're not going to have any cruising videos for a while. The UK is currently in lockdown, or lockdown number 3 as people are calling it. So we can only move for essential travel, which is emptying toilets, getting water, getting food, things like that. We're in a marina, so we don't have to do any of that other than travel for food. So it's not too bad for us. Just out at the moment with Poppy, take her for a walk. Quite lucky where we are, because the owner of the marina has set aside 3 fields that we can walk around, or 2 or 3 fields that we can walk around. So we can take the dog for a walk and we're not really leaving, you know, the marina. So that's quite good for us. Been quite a lot of flooding of late. We've had a storm in that's brought quite a lot of heavy rain. Obviously the UK has been having a lot of snow and we've got a lot of frost. All this has meant that, you know, rivers are starting to swell and burst the banks, and I know locally there's been quite a lot of damage done, quite a lot of people affected. So just a bit further on from where we are now is the River Weaver. We're going to see if we can head down that way and take a look at it and see how bad everything is. Let's go and have a look. It's been a good walk with Poppy. I think we're both tired now, probably me more than her. And it's freezing. It's beautiful, blue sky, sunshine, but it is about -2 at the moment. So I think it's time we get back to the boat, stick the kettle on and have a brew. Come on, let's go. Firstly, I want to say a big thank you to all our subscribers. It's fantastic that you're joining us on this journey, and we never thought that we'd get any subscribers, to be honest. It was more to show friends and family what we were up to. So the fact that we're actually getting more people interested in what we're doing is very humbling. So for everybody that's actually subscribed, thank you so much. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Anyway, let's get on with it. So, top 3 tips. So, tip number 1. My first tip would be to go and view as many boats as you can. You may already have an understanding of what you want out of a boat, and that's fine. But go and look at as many boats as you can, and look outside of what you think you already want. So if you think you want a 57-foot boat, go and look at 60 foot. Go and look at 70 foot. Go and look at 50 foot, 45 foot. Look at the full range. Look at boats that are both semi-trad, traditional, or even cruiser stern. Look at both traditional layout boats and reverse layout boats. I think you're kind of understanding where I'm going with this. Look at boats that are on your price range and below your price range, but also look at boats that are way above your price range. That will give you an understanding of what you're actually getting for your money. At the moment, price wise, I think boats are higher than they were a few years ago. The popularity with everything that's going on in the world at the moment is pushing the prices up of boats. So go and have a look at what you're going to get. You may want a project boat. You may want a boat that you don't have to do anything about. You may want a brand new build. Go and look at everything, every single option to get the full picture, and you may find that your criteria will change over what you want. So go and look at every option. Tip number 2. What I would say for this one is compromise. Be prepared to compromise. Unless you're looking to get a boat built from scratch to your own specifications, I don't think you're ever going to find the perfect boat that meets all the criteria that you've established that you want from the first part. So you're going to have to compromise. When we was looking for our first boat, we wanted something that was 57 foot so we could get through the whole network. We wanted a cruiser stern. We wanted a spare room, reverse layout, and a few other bits and pieces. Did we find that? No. I didn't find one boat that met all the criteria. Lady Brian, the boat that we bought, is 70 foot. It is a reverse layout and it does have a spare room. But that's it. Everything else we've compromised on. It's a traditional layout, not a cruiser stern that we wanted. It's 70 foot, not 57. So we can't cover the whole network. But we're happy with that. We have got a bigger well deck, which makes up for the fact that we don't have the cruiser stern. So swings and roundabouts on that one, and we're happy. And having been on the boat now for a good few months, we're happy that we made this decision. We're happy we made those compromises. We're happy that we got this boat. So compromise is what I would say for that. Be prepared to accept different things. And tip number 3. You've been through the process now. You've looked at all the boats and you've drawn up your list of what you want. And you've been out and you've compromised and you've found the perfect boat you want. You've put your offers in, you've bought your boat. That's it. You're the proud owners of a new boat. Now what? My tip would be, especially, this is more related to second-hand boats, not necessarily new builds, but could be new build as well. Live with the boat for a month or two before you make any alterations. What you'll find is you'll go onto the boat saying, I want to change this, I want to change that, we'll do this, we'll do that. Wait. My advice would be wait. Live with it for a month or two and see whether you can live with that. After a month or two of living with the boat exactly how it is, you will have an idea on what you need to change and how you're going to change it. You may want to change the kitchen. You may want to change the layout of the kitchen. But that layout that you think will work may not work when you're out on the canal and you're using it in practice. Just because it looks good on paper doesn't mean that in practice everything's going to be fine. I went looking at a boat and one of the kitchen cupboards had to be opened before you could open another kitchen cupboard, because just the way that the kitchen was built, it looked fantastic, but you just couldn't open the doors. Yeah, you had to open things in a certain order to get into places. That would have irritated me. That wasn't practical. So live with the boat and see what you want to do. Colour schemes are the same. You may think you want a certain colour scheme running within the boat, and that could be fine. But remember that if you've got porthole windows, they're not going to let as much heat out of the boat, but then they don't let as much light into the boat. So choosing a darker colour scheme can make it feel small and compact, whereas a brighter colour scheme would make it feel bigger, brighter in area. Remember, these are only 6'10" wide, unless you're on a a wide beam. But the narrow boats are 6'10" wide, so you want it to feel as big and as bright and as airy as you can. Live with the boat, make your decisions as you go along, and then make your alterations. Well, if you've made it this far through the video, well done. You deserve a medal. Thank you very much for listening to me. What I would say is, if there was a fourth tip, listen to other people, get other people's advice as well. These are just my opinions. This is what I've learned from the process of when we bought the boat. Other people will have had different things happen, and they will give you their opinion. Take as much of that into account as you can, and then come up with your own things and go out there and have fun. Let the process of buying the boat be fun. That's the main thing. Let that be a fun thing to do. Anyway, all that's left for me to do now is say thank you very much for watching and listening to me ramble on. If you haven't already subscribed, please think about subscribing. It's free to do, costs nothing, and it helps us out. Hit the notification bell and you should get notifications when we put more videos out. If you've got any comments about anything that we've mentioned, please drop them down below and we'll get back in touch with you. That's fine. Most of all, thanks for watching.